Okay. We're live. We're back, and hopefully back for good. Sorry for the technical difficulties there in the stream. That's just the way show business goes. You know, sometimes you got to deal with technical difficulties, and show must go on. And so we are here to stream live to you from prefectural headquarters of Naked Famous Denim right here in Kanagawa, Japan, Yokohama, Japan, representing the... Is there an area code here?
223.
The 223. We're representing the 223. We're back.
No,
that's the zip code.
045.
We're representing the 045.
Sorry, I mistaken. I made a mistake.
It's okay. That's allowed. Mistakes happen on air. Technical difficulties happen on air. But you know what? We're here together. That's the most important thing. Everybody's coming back. We're back. Austin Fletcher, we're back. Yoon Jazz, greetings from Korea.
Hello.
Hello, annyeong haseyo to you, my friend. Welcome here. Jay, hey all. So, sorry for the difficulties before this. I don't remember where we were. I think we were talking about our queen, the Queen of Canada, Celine Dion. But this is the Raw Denim live stream. We'll talk a little bit more about Raw Denim and all Raw Denim related things. We'll just give the room another moment here to populate so that everybody can make their way back to the greatest, the largest, the most exciting Raw Denim live stream in all of the Kanagawa prefecture.
Even though it doesn't seem like it right now.
Oh, no, it definitely does. There's no more exciting live stream focused on the topic of raw denim going on anywhere in the world.
Yes, that is
as exciting as this current one is right now. So, that's it. Topher Cobra, yes, we're back and looking good, and hopefully we're back and looking good to stay. Let's not forget one of the greatest jazz pianists, Oscar Peterson, Yoon Jazz. Is that a Canadian? Well, then let's never forget Mr. Oscar Peterson. Thank you for your contribution to the jazz piano. We appreciate you. So, yeah, it's getting back in the flow is just a little bit.
It's a little difficult. You're stressed a little.
A little bit stressed.
Our technical, I don't know.
Yeah.
Advisor.
That's it. Resident technical advisor. Yoon Jazz, sure, he's Canadian. All right, well, glad to know. Another Canadian doing great things out there in the world. As myself in the denim world, I don't know how much I've contributed, but probably a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, Brandon, combined.
Yeah, we've done a few things.
Big contribution.
Big contribution. Big contribution to the Canadian denim world. We've got Over the Rainbow. I think that they've done some fantastic work over in Toronto. 40 plus years of business, of selling jeans to Canadians. You know, the original Canadian, I don't know if it was the original Canadian denim brand, but do you know what that brand is?
No.
It might be the oldest existing Canadian jeans brand, but Silver Jeans, Silver.
Are they like that old?
I think 1937.
Whoa,
yeah.
That's impressive.
Because I think they have a brand called 1937, and so I think that's where they got their name from, their founding. They don't make jeans in Canada anymore,
which is a shame.
But they used to make in Winnipeg, and then there was another brand of jeans from Canada, GWG, the Great Western Garment Company. They operated, I don't know when they started, but I think they ended operations in the mid 90s, maybe late 90s. They were purchased by the company with the arcs, the arcs and the tab. I think they bought them so that they could take over their
Canadian market,
basically. So yeah, and now Naked and Famous Denim, the only remaining Canadian jeans producer in Canada. Nobody else makes jeans in Canada.
This is very sad.
Yeah. You might have tailors and things like that here and there.
Yeah.
But as a
small scale.
yeah, but as a factory, we're the last remaining ones. Which is, you'd think for a country that's national dress, its heritage dress is the Canadian tuxedo, that we would be making more jeans in our country, but it's odd that we don't. In fact, talking earlier, we talked about how if I were to ever run for political office, that I would be a single policy politician. I'm gonna and that is to get Celine Dion's greatest moments, commemorated on all of our money forever. I would also make it that our uniforms as politicians or government employees shall be Canadian tuxedo. In various forms. It doesn't always have to be, a jean jacket and jeans, but everything at the very least must be made of denim. Right? So officer uniforms, the prime minister, the guy with the stupid curly hair. I think we have one of those guys in our parliament. Even the
right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the curly hair, stupid wig.
The wig.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
I really don't understand. I think the first time I learned about this, I mean, it was a British court and not Canadian court, but it's just like, I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
It's like, why is everybody dressed up like at Halloween?
And how am I to take this person seriously?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. Also the robes. There's a lot of robes going on in these.
Robes are very like.
What are we doing here?
It's everywhere though.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of the robes. I'm getting rid of the robes. If you have to put on a wig to have some sort of ceremonial power, that job that job is gone. I'm gonna get rid of it.
But the wigs, it's like, why are you cosplaying?
Yeah. Why are you cosplaying?
What is the point of this?
Yes. There's no point of it. If that, this is ridiculous. I would get rid of it.
Yeah.
So,
first order of business.
Yeah. First order of business, getting rid of the wig.
Yeah.
Take that stupid thing off your head.
Although I don't know if as a prime minister you have the power to do that.
I will have the power to do it.
You just have to
rely
on your
No. See, here's how you do it. As prime minister, I will just go to the guy and take off his head,
and they can do nothing.
What are you going to do? You're going to hit the prime minister? Well, I got all the security with me, so go ahead, make my day. Oh yeah, I'm going to be a good prime minister one day. It will be a very fun Canada, by the way. The funnest Canada has ever been.
You're probably going to have to live in Canada to be
No, I'm going to do it remotely. I think managing the country is that easy that I could just do it remotely. Yeah. That's it. Bahzad for prime minister. What do you guys think? I think I'd do a good job. One of the best. One of the best.
You would think that.
I believe it.
I believe that you will genuinely try to make the country better.
Yeah.
I give you that.
I would be just a fantastic prime minister one day. Although I couldn't deal with the stench and
what's the stench?
Like the stink.
Oh.
Like cuz I'd be surrounded by morons. But yeah, it would be a slash and burn type of situation. And with my top priorities being getting the monarchy off the money, making sure that we are highlighting our queen, our true queen, and embracing our national dress once and for all.
And getting rid of the wigs.
And getting rid of the wigs.
That is the utmost priority.
Important. So hopefully somebody in the government is watching now and they're like, we got to put that guy on our radar.
Yeah.
Stop him before he gets too powerful. But yeah.
Yeah.
More denim in the Canadian national dress.
It is very sad that the production, like, if like something happens to a business and we couldn't make jeans anymore, then like that's it.
That's it for
like,
Canada.
Nobody who lives in Canada are gonna know how to make jeans anymore. Not aside from like small scale personal level, there wouldn't be a running jeans manufacturing factory.
Yeah.
It's just a very sad thing.
Yeah, Lee Shang Style writes, if someone visited Tate+Yoko, is it possible to buy any of the Canadian stuff from Brandon's grandpa's old brands? Now, anything that we have that's like Paul Rose products or old Beaumarché items, like our archive pieces, those are not for sale.
Yeah,
There's actually, but we do have a lot of stuff that's hanging around. There is a warehouse store attached. So if you ever visit Tate+Yoko, next to it, there's this giant building that says Beaumarché on like right next to it, attached to our building. Beaumarché is Brandon's dad's business, which was started by Brandon's grandfather. And there's actually a warehouse store downstairs that sells all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, just random stuff.
Yeah, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So everything from like workwear stuff to like kids' snowsuits and
yeah, or like floofy women's dresses.
Yeah,
and all kinds of stuff. Which is, but
Yeah.
I mean, snowsuits are pretty good actually.
the snowsuits are really good.
Yeah.
But there are there's for sure gonna be some of that stuff in there. Some of the dead stock stuff that's like
sometimes
pretty good. There's some there's stuff from the 80s and 90s that are still around there.
Yeah. There are a lot of treasures. I don't know how much of it makes it to the store. I've seen some, but I think most of it is just sitting in the warehouse.
Speaking of Iron Snail, he did a video where he actually went to let me see if I can pull it up. Where he went to the Beaumarché and he kind of did a little bit of a tour of what we have back there. So if you are interested in seeing what our back end looks like, let me see if I can find it. Iron Snail, Naked and Famous Denim, Montreal. He went to visit us. Yeah, here it is. Whoopsie. See, more technical difficulties here on the stream. Where is it? There we go. There it is. So this video right here. So check that one out, how my Japanese denim jacket was made. Michael does a little bit of a tour. Let's kill the audio. Oh, wait. You know what? I'm going to let this play out so you guys don't have to watch ads. And instead
to see our faces.
That's it.
Looking at ads.
Yeah, we'll watch the ads for you. But yeah, Michael does a pretty nice tour of the back end of our building, and you get to see some of the treasures that are. Some of it's random, like there's just cartons and cartons of like 80s pantyhose, which I don't know why we're holding on to, because like certainly the elastin and them it just turns to dust. So check it out here. I'm just walking Michael through some of our fabric. This is actually not Naked and Famous fabric. That's just some knit fabric for Beaumarché. But this is some of our denim. This is the back end of Tate+Yoko. You can see how everything's organized. We've got all the fits in different rows, and then the same fabrics are organized by column. There's Terry in the background there. Good old Terry. But you see where I walk you through some of the older part of the warehouse. There's actually quite a few floors of older part of the warehouse. And yeah, you see there's some of the snowsuits. Here's some old jeans. Now, I don't know if you might find these in the warehouse store, but here's some old pantyhose. There's cartons and cartons and cartons of this stuff. I like the packaging.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of old underwear. There's like stuff that we made for Sears back in the day that's still hanging around. Yeah, this is some knitwear that we actually make for the Canadian prisons. Mm-hmm. So we have a contract with the prisons to do some of the stuff for them. But yeah, there's just all kinds of random things. So you would think that
that comes with the belt.
Yeah, 70 years of production. 70 years of production. Like with every production lot of everything, there's always a handful of items that just kind of sometimes go unsold, right? Mm-hmm. For whatever reason. And you think for every production lot, of which there's stuff coming in every week, for 70 years, there's stuff.
And like for Naked and Famous, we try to keep it lean in a way that, like, because we need the space, like, we're just like, you know, like if something isn't moving, like we'll you know, get rid of it, we put it on sale or whatever. But
when you've got a giant warehouse and lots
yeah,
of space.
so like Beaumarché owns the entire building, and they have unlimited amount of warehouse space, which is not unlimited, but it is a huge amount.
Yeah.
And I think they just kind of missed the opportunity to be on top of that, getting rid of old things business, and it's just been decades.
Yeah, we used to have a salesperson whose job it was to sell the old stuff, and they used to sell to like all the thrift stores and
which was good because it's already vintage.
Yeah.
So like vintage stores is like, oh, this is a real deal stock.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think there's only so much you can do. Like, oh, they're not gonna buy all the pantyhose.
Yeah, selling vintage stuff is hard because they want to be picky. Sometimes they like.
And they're actually not going to buy the whole lot.
Yeah. So, like, can I take 10? I'm like, I have 300 of these to get rid of. I need to get rid of all of it. Yeah. I remember one time I had, I found a bunch of sports memorabilia. It wasn't memorabilia. It's like like baseball caps and like jerseys and things like that. And I think the reason why we had it was because it was like all small sizes, except for a handful of like, you know, mediums and larges and like kind of the stuff that would sell. And there was like some store. I'm like, look, I got all this stuff. Like, it's a take all situation. And they're like, no, I just want the mediums and larges and all the hats. I'm like, no, you have to take it all. And I was literally selling this stuff for like I met a person who had a shop, and I'm like, look, I was selling it for like $10 or $12 a piece, like nothing. Like, I'm like, just, you have to buy it all. I'm not gonna get picky with this stuff. I don't want it in my warehouse anymore. I just want it gone. But yeah, sometimes it can be a little difficult.
Yeah.
In these realms. So
anyways, if you visited Tate+Yoko, you can take a look at the you know, some of that stuff in the warehouse store.
Yeah.
It is grungy.
Yeah, and if you're lucky, they might be able to give you like a factory if there's time. You know, if you're there at the right time.
We can't promise you anything.
But if you ask for a factory tour, like there's a good chance if there's time, yeah. There's a good chance we can do that for you. So there's a long answer to your small question. They're not small questions. They're all good questions. Small. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. Devin Hurt, ripping some bald guy's wig off wouldn't get you elected for a second term.
I wonder because everybody would appreciate that because I'm sure everybody's like, why
do we have the wig guy?
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Also, I don't think I want a second term. I'm in there to do my business.
You're cleaning up the place and then
I'm out. I'm going to get that pension for life.
That is a good plan because once you're in power for long, the power gets into your head and then you become the politician that everybody else is.
Yeah, I know. I need to be like a soldier. Like I'm on a mission, and I've got a mission to complete. And once complete, I'm out. In fact, if I get all my stuff done in like 2 weeks, I'll be like, all right, I'm out. See you later.
Yeah, but then, see, that's the problem. That's the problem with the system that we have now. It's that like you're not automatically out once the time, like a certain amount of time passed. So if that's the case, then that's a great plan. Yeah. So because you'd be like, okay, 2 years, I've done everything I could in 2 years, I'm out.
Yeah, and I'll have a great retirement speech. I'll be like, it'd be fantastic. Like, look, I did it. I came. I had a plan. Executed. I'm batting 1,000. I executed everything I wanted to do. I fired everyone who's going to be fired. You guys, you got a clean slate now. Mm-hmm. I'm leaving the country again. And if you screw it up,
subscribe to our YouTube channel.
If you screw it up, it's on you, right? But all I can say is that I left you with something nice. You had it. You could have had it. So don't screw it up. And if you want to learn more about denim, subscribe to the Naked Famous Denim YouTube channel. And you'll find me there. You'll find me there living out my days talking about jeans and how I cleaned up Canada.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
We'll see. Devin Hurt, how much damage can you do in 2 years? Way too much paperwork and hoops.
But you gotta be like.
You know what I would do? I would get rid of all the paperwork.
Yeah, that's
I'd be like,
the plan. Like you can't be like, okay, these. I don't care. Yeah. I'm not gonna come back again. My political career is going to go to the
pooper.
So I'm just gonna do everything I can to remove all the bureaucracy, to clean up as much as you can.
Do you know how much? Like, here's just. I don't want to talk too much about politics and government and stuff. Sometimes do because it's funny, but you know what I would do for taxes? I'd be like, look, why are we filling out all this paperwork? We got 2 tax rates. We got the business tax rate and you got the personal tax rate. That's it. If I could ever abolish all of the taxes, I would. But if you had to pay taxes, look, they know how much you owe, but they won't tell you, and you have to figure it all out for yourself. And if you screw it up, then you're in trouble. It doesn't make either. Here it is, just one piece of paper. This is what you owe, and you pay it. That's it. You made this much, you owe this much. One rate. That's it. I'm not, there's no deductions or blah, 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 blah. Here it is. One thing. Done. Thank you. I'm out. I'm going to drop the mic. There you go. Unbelievable. Anarchist Bahzad is fun. You got it. But yeah, this sounds like a South Park episode. It would be a pretty good South Park episode. Just, the new, I wouldn't even call myself Prime Minister. I'd give myself a new title. I would change that as well. I don't want to be involved in that regard. Prime Minister. I'm just the auditor. I'm just here to clean up stuff.
The cleaner.
Yeah, I'm the cleaner. That's it. I'm going to come in there with a broom, and that's it. I'm going to wear a janitor's outfit, and I'm going to put on a full-on janitor's uniform, and that will be my full-on uniform. And it will be a metaphor for what needs to be done here, guys. We're cleaning it up.
Made of denim.
Yeah, made of denim. Canadian-made denim. That's it. Commander and jeans. That would be it. Scott P., you've made a great choice today by subscribing to the Naked Famous Denim YouTube channel. Welcome to the family. Hopefully, my ramblings are keeping you
I think another thing on your agenda should also be, not only should we be able to continue making jeans in Canada, but also fabrics in Canada, maybe.
I would love to bring that back. In the Blue Jay Selvedge video, I showed off an old Beaumarché produced jacket. It was a Beaumarché, as if you're tuning in right now, is the company that Brandon's grandfather started. It is still in existence today. Brandon's father still runs the company. And it was a chore coat made in Canada using Canadian-made Selvedge denim. So at one point, denim was made all over North America. It's still a little bit made in America, but no more denim is made in Canada. And there used to be, a Canadian denim mill, Wabasso Mills. I would love if I could find some dead stock denim and make a full 100% Canadian, made, raw denim item today.
That would be awesome.
That chore coat, I don't know, man. I've never seen another. It's going to be harder and harder to find. I'm sure there's some vintage pieces out there of Canadian-made jeans using Canadian selvage, but that is a very rare item. And I'm glad that we have it in our possession. But yeah, I would love it if we could bring back that industry as well. I think it would be pretty neat to have a full-on Canadian-made product once again, 100%.
Well, the good thing is that you don't have to be the person in power to bring that back. I think you have enough. If Naked and Famous grows enough to be able to make our own fabrics within Canada.
Yeah.
Someday.
Lee Shangstyle's got it. While Bahzad runs Canada, Risa can run Japan and export denim looms, fabric, etc. to Canada for very favorable rates. All right. Risa needs to take over Japan somehow.
Political.
Yeah. some political shenanigans.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all in the name of denim, and I think it's very justifiable.
Mm-hmm.
I will accept this treaty. It's done.
All right.
Right. You guys saw it here first.
I think it's, yeah. I mean, it sounds very nice and friendly, but
it will be the friendliest of all country arrangements.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see a more friendly arrangement than the one we will have between Canada and Japan under our joint rule. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
If we were both the leaders at the same time, power couple.
That is the definition of a couple.
And it's just like, what are you guys going to do on this policy? Guys, if it's not denim related, we're really not all that interested. You guys go figure it out yourselves, okay? We need a new park. Are we making swings out of denim? Yes? Fund it. Let's go. Do it. We need kids' uniforms. The kids need school uniforms. Boy, do I have an idea for you. We're going to make it out of denim, and they're going to love it. We're just going to be a denim-loving nation. Y'all are like Meghan and Harry, but likable. So not like Meghan and Harry.
That is the only thing about those two are that they're not
likable. But yeah, I get where you're coming from, and I appreciate that. Absolutely. Adam Erickson, can we get Michael from the Iron Snail for U.S. president when you two take over? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, Iron Snail for American presidency. This is
America, Canada, Japan,
yeah.
all friends.
All friends.
Promoting denim. That would be
It'd be
wonderful.
Great. What a wonderful world would be in if we could just make that happen. Man, that would be a dream.
Children running around everywhere leaving blue stains. That's true.
Yeah, it's great. You know,
there will be no white couches in these three countries.
They'd be denim couches. Yeah, the entire policy of all of our countries would really circle around denim and indigo. Canvases would be acceptable. Anything in the denim-related world would be acceptable.
Or any kind of twill.
Yeah.
It's also acceptable.
Also leathers. Mm-hmm. Give me a nice veg tan leather couch. Yeah. Absolutely. That's fantastic.
I would also accept linen. Mm-hmm. I love linen.
Yeah, beautiful textiles.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're all about here at Naked and Famous Denim. Low-key Breadhead 808 writes, another brand has a Euro division and a Japan division. Why not Naked and Famous? It's not so much that they're divisions. Some companies are a lot more corporate,
business savvy.
Yeah, than you understand. They're owned by a parent company who owns a name and then licenses a name out to different regions. So it might have started as a brand, but that brand got sold off to some company that owns brands, and then they take that name and sell it to people who want to make products under that name. It's a very common thing, even with like American jeans brands. Like, you know, sometimes like I don't want to name. Actually, you know, some like I'm not going to name names, but there are American brands that are simply sold to a company to a license holder for 10 years. You got to do something with this brand, and then they do it, and then all of a sudden you don't hear about that brand for a while, and then boom, it's like hot again, or it's not again. Like,
and it's sometimes hard to recognize that like these are two different entities running with just a licensing agreement in the middle. Like there are as a consumer, if you see something that's branded, say Naked and Famous, and go to another country and see something Naked and Famous. In the case of Naked and Famous, in reality, like it's all run by the same people, made by the same people, same way. But it's like you wouldn't know if it was run by another company that's just borrowing the name. Yeah. So
sometimes you might see a company operating in one country, and then you see it in another country, and the products look completely different.
Yeah.
and you're like, what on earth is going on here?
I think that's the case with the
Yeah.
brand that you were talking about too. That's it's completely different lines, like,
Yeah.
even price points.
Yeah, and like even like through multiple regions. Like you'll have a Euro, you'll have a North America, you'll have a Southeast Asia, you might have specifically a Korea. Like
It is a very, very common thing in Japan, especially because Japan has its own market, their own way of operating business, and they don't, we don't really like the foreign way. Like we just have a way. Like we either work with us or not kind of situation. So there's a lot of brands that just licenses names of other countries' brands and just run their own business.
Yeah, in Japan you'll see a lot of American brands, but it's a American license, and the Japanese company makes all the products here.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the parent, like other than like that they pay them a royalty. They really have nothing to do with one another. And so that's why sometimes you'll see some brands, like even workwear brands and things like that, it's like, oh, you can only buy it in Europe. It's because the parent company that owns the license for that name is only allowed to sell it in Europe.
Yeah.
So they don't sell it anywhere else.
Yeah. A lot of the times, like, approval process is in place.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But they're not designing everything. They're just being like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's not acceptable. So you can't make that. But, like, things like that.
Yeah, Brandon's dad used to be in that business a lot. Like in the 80s and 90s, he would get licenses for, he did a lot of surf and like outdoor apparel brands, and he would get the license for it to produce those items in Canada, for example, and then he would do the entire line and sell that line throughout Canada, and then in the United States it would be a completely different product, but it was the same brand. So it happens all the time.
Yeah, it's interesting to just, like, when you start paying attention to things like that, it's interesting to, like, notice different brands run different ways in other parts of the world.
Right. Yeah, it's the fashion industry is like, we're not at that machine level. Like there's a giant machine. Like the companies that own companies, those are the guys who are pumping out so much product. Like it's the reason why you'll see, like, one brand is at like all the fancy department stores and also at Costco, and it's like, you sell the branded t-shirts at Costco, but you also sell like very, very expensive items at all the luxury department stores. And it's like, we're making money on everything. Yeah. Like there's sunglasses, there's fragrance, and like the sunglasses like part of the business is a completely different part than the rest of the business. The fragrance is another part. The cosmetics is another part. Huge.
And what's funny is that, like, you can expect that from like a brand that everybody knows. But, like, sometimes even the smallest of brands that nobody really knows about has that kind of deals with other companies in other countries and stuff like that. So it's actually really interesting.
Yeah. say, I think that's the problem with fragrance houses like Creed. Different prices for different regions. LAMO. Sometimes there's just different prices for different regions.
Sometimes it has something to do with, like, the
distributor of that product in a particular region. So go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, and obviously, like, some countries have tariffs with, like import duties and stuff like that, and others don't. So, like, the price point could really vary based off of how, like, those tax regulations, also like how the businesses are run in the country, and all kinds of things. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're all, like, not coming from the same place. It's possible that it comes from the same place and just have different price points everywhere.
It's really hard to know. But sometimes it's just, we know people in this country will spend more, so we charge more. Or sometimes it's, okay, we're a brand, but we work through a distributor in that country, and that distributor in that country does all of our, like, we create all the marketing, but then they do all the, they'll translate it, and they'll make sure that it's right for the local region. And that company is like, well, we need to make money too. So it bumps up the price, and then all of a sudden the price of that product is 50% more than if you were to buy it somewhere else. But you also wouldn't have had that product in your region if it wasn't for that person who was importing it and doing all that work. So it's a whole thing. Prices can sometimes be it's obvious that in the local region the price is going to be the best, and I think we need to understand that. And then outside of that, somebody's done the work to bring it in for you, so you have to. But even if you were to do it yourself, so like sometimes, for example, if you buy like a Naked and Famous Denim item from one of our retail partners in Europe or Asia or something like that, it might be a little bit more expensive than if you were to buy it from Tate+Yoko. Like you might see that Tate+Yoko price and think, oh, well, that's a deal, right? But when you pay the shipping and then when you pay the duties and all that stuff,
or even tax, like a lot of the times, like if you buy from local market, that's the price. Like you have to pay tax then. So sometimes if you buy from an international like online store and then you get like you paid a certain amount but you receive it and you owe tax now. So it's like there's a lot to be said about like buying locally. I think it's just people might feel like, oh, I'm just like it's one thing if it's not available, obviously, right. Like it's great to buy that have access to all the markets and stuff like that, but local retailers are doing their part to help us grow. So
yeah, so you definitely want to support them. And I don't think any of our retail partners are like gouging anybody in any way.
I don't think the market doesn't allow it.
Yeah, right.
Which is the beauty of having access to the internet.
Chris, Naked and Famous stuff here in Australia is basically the same as buying from Tate+Yoko, which is nice. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, the fact that everything is available online also makes it that retailers also have to make sure that their prices align to a certain degree. There might be little bumps here and there, but I don't think that there's anything, especially for our products, that's significant. But it also helps that we don't work through distributors or agents or things like that.
100%.
Like we sell direct to our retail partners, so we don't have like a European agent or a Japan agent or anything like that. So it's us, the manufacturer, directly to the retail partner. Okay. Julian writes, can you shrink Naked and Famous Denim? Bought a pair from a third party. Size may be a bit too big on me. Okay. Well, low key. Breadhead 808 writes, Julian, hot soak and hang dry. This is the short answer. If you want to shrink your jeans, you got to wash them hot. You got to dry them hot. But
tumble dry. Yeah.
If you don't want to, I would recommend you hang dry them because that's the safest way to dry your products.
Yeah, but if you want to shrink them, that would help to put it in the dryer.
But why don't you embrace the looser fit?
Yeah.
If they're not,
there's a thing called belt that might help you.
Yeah.
And it's such a good feeling when you start to wear, especially now because the looser fit are more trendier now. So it's not like you have to wear a slim fit nowadays. So I think maybe give it a try. Yeah, it's very liberating.
Yeah, the key is just having the right inseam. So long as they're not dragging on the floor, you can have a small little roll on them, and it's a very, very acceptable and casual look, especially for denim. Denim is definitely something that can be worn a little bit looser, and it doesn't look like you are a slob, right? Because it is a casual item by nature, you can certainly enjoy them a little bit bigger. And we are now in this time experiencing a big resurgence of not baggy fits, but casual fits, right? Now, maybe on one end I do see like in like the fashion kids, they're kind of embracing like this Y2K style and they're wearing these giant baggy jeans, but unless you're 21 years old or 18 years old, like that's probably not what you're interested in.
Yeah.
But just the idea of jeans being less fitted than they have been for the last decade is just very refreshing for a lot of people.
Yeah. And it's a blessing.
Yeah.
I have to say.
I have to say. Yeah. And I know that a lot of our audience who have been with us for the last decade, as we get older, I always feel like the audience is like my age, but
that's not the case.
Definitely not the case. But, I went from wearing a lot of fitted jeans for like the last, the mid 2000s till, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I started wearing jeans a little bit more casually. But I wore really skinny jeans for a long time. And once I started wearing things a little bit looser, a little bit more relaxed, you realize that, like, you're, number one, you're more comfortable, but you wear your jeans more, right? And I don't feel like my style has been impacted by that. I kind of like that I look a little bit more mature in jeans that aren't as fitted. Especially as a soon-to-be 40-year-old male, I cannot wear tight pants anymore. I should not wear tight pants anymore.
I don't know. I mean, do whatever you want. I don't think age and like how you wear your clothes should like just be a rule. Whatever.
Sure.
But,
yeah. I'm not a rock star. Like if I lived a certain aesthetic, like fine, right? But I
also what you feel, right?
Yeah.
Like if you don't feel right in them, then don't do it.
No, I want to be casual. I want to be comfortable. I want to embrace dad style as much as possible, despite not being a dad. Low key, breadhead 808. I'm 46. Dad jeans where it's at. That's it. And I'm not saying everybody has to be just a casual dad, but I like this casual Americana.
I do too.
Look.
And it does help that everybody's kind of leaning toward the trend is leaning towards that. But if you're like I'm very like fitted like sharp looking things kind of style, then like you don't, just because the trend is like bigger or like it's more comfortable. Like I understand that you don't want to wear that, and if you don't feel comfortable or if you don't feel like you're proper yourself, then go with the fitted. It just doesn't matter. But I think give having a little extra room in your jeans a try and see how it feels first before like you're like, oh, I have to shrink this or I have to tailor this.
Give it that's it. Give it a try. Wear it around for a few days and see if it ends up being comfortable, and if it ends up that you feel like you actually look good in them, right? Like, if they're huge, let me put it this way. If they're huge, there's no amount of shrinking that's going to get them to be the right size.
100%.
So if you think that the jeans just need a little bit of shrinkage in order for you to fit properly, to be fair, they probably fit you okay now.
Yeah.
They're probably in the realm that they're it's no big deal if they're a little bit big. Okay. Cash flow writes, trends change, that slight taper is timeless though. The weird guy fit is an absolutely timeless fit. There's no deviating from that. That's going to be around for a long time. That was never too tight at the bottom, never too wide. It was slightly tapered, basically just follows the guide of your leg. There's nothing wrong with that fit. If you want to wear it slim, you can wear it slim. If you want to wear it a little bit big, you can wear it a little bit big, or you wear your normal size and you look clean and casual. Ultimate timeless fit, the weird guy. Lee, Shang Style, hey B, similar to showing your past Naked and Famous lookbooks, any chance you could show past Bahzad outfit pics with skinny jeans, evolution of your style? Man, I gotta find some. I'm sure there's some somewhere. The weird thing about...
I've seen a few. I've only seen a few, and it's funny.
Yeah, I gotta find, like... Yeah, I gotta
find a bunch of them.
Yeah, I gotta find a bunch of them all in one spot together. But yeah, I mean, I wore black power stretch skinny guy. I wore deep indigo rigid Selvedge skinny guy. I wore in size 28. All of my jeans were size 28 and as skinny and as skin tight as possible. And that was was
Yeah.
my look for
Yeah.
a very long
I know that
time.
look in real person.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm talking about, like, even
Before
further
that. Yeah.
back.
Oh, you know, I used to, when my diesel days. Yeah.
Yeah, and your hairstyle.
Yeah.
And
I
just
gotta find pictures.
the twigness of you.
Unfortunately, I don't think I have so many photos of me. It's only like within like the last year on my own personal Instagram that I started like documenting my outfits kind of a little, not seriously, but
Yeah.
just
Like, even 5 years ago of you, like,
Yeah.
picture-wise, it's, like, probably, like, if somebody took a picture of you,
Yeah.
you know, at trade shows or
Yeah.
whatever, like, those are the only ones, probably.
Yeah, I'm not that big on pictures. You know, even, you know what? It's actually a hard picture to find. Pictures of me and Brandon. Like, for the amount of time that we've spent together and all the places that we've been, like, we don't stop to take that many pictures. We just don't. And we just
I
keep
think
moving.
none of us
Yeah.
are that person.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, you have, like, in your friend group, like, you probably have somebody who's just, like, good at taking pictures,
Yeah.
or your family or whatever. But, like, I think, like, you know, obviously you and Brandon are not that people. And
No.
even I'm not that person. So, like, I don't even, like, I'm the third person. I'm, like, I don't take pictures of you two.
Yeah.
I'm very bad at
Yeah,
that.
like if there was like a documentary on Naked and Famous throughout the years, it would be, we wouldn't have that many photos of all of us together doing all the things that we've done.
Yeah.
It would be.
We would just have a ton of pictures of jeans,
Yeah.
but nothing of us.
Yeah, it's
Personally.
It's probably, we need to remedy that, but
We also
yeah.
need to probably save pictures that are taken of us.
Yeah, memorable moments in company time. But yeah, low key Brett had skinny jeans with the slicked back hair and the shot perfecto. Yeah, my, you know, I don't know. Anyways, I had a lot of evolutions of style, but my diesel days were probably my dirtiest looking days. I definitely looked like a dirty hipster because I was a dirty hipster. Yeah, I looked pretty gross. But it was the style. It was the style at the time.
Yeah.
I remember I had these boots.
You certainly did not have a slicked back hair.
No, I had greasy long hair. And sometimes I do remember it was like a headband, like those really skinny headbands. Yeah, sometimes I'd wear those.
Was that a thing of men?
It was a thing. I think I just, you know, I probably saw it. I definitely bought it at American Apparel. And I think it was just a thing because I had long hair and I just wanted to keep it out of my face, but I wanted it to stay down. So I would put it around my head and I'm sure I looked like an idiot.
But that doesn't really help you with that, does it?
It kept it out of my face. Like I like my long hair.
It's not like a hairband that goes like
Yeah,
that.
but I wanted it down. You want your hair down, but you want it out of your face. You have that stupid elastic around the top of your
Yeah,
head.
but even with your hair down, you wear it like this. So
No,
that it's
you
out of
wear
your
it like a crown. It goes around the top of your
I
head.
don't think it helps too much.
Well, it didn't. I just looked dumb.
Although there were like soccer players who wear them, and then it's like, I guess like they're trying to be, you know, keeping your hair out of your eyes at least.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know how it works.
But yeah, Cash Flow writes, Naked and Famous documentary would be really cool, actually. You'll have such a cool culture and story from the tiny bit I'm aware of. Yeah, I think, look, I think it would be a pretty fun and interesting story. I mean, we've done a lot. We've been everywhere. We are the, you know, when we started in the industry, we really had no contacts. You know, Brandon had the production know-how, but as far as industry contacts, he didn't know anybody. He just made some samples, went to a trade show, and shot a shot. And luckily, his first shots were very swish, nothing but net, landed a bunch of really great accounts based on some really fantastic product that we had at prices that were never seen before. People didn't really understand that you can make a Japanese Selvedge denim jean for the price points that Naked Famous Denim was offering at the time. And even for the current day, our prices are still very, very aggressive.
Oh.
What's that?
No, continue. Sorry.
So, just the journey of, getting started, making all these connections, running around New York and Paris and Germany and all the places that we went to go and meet all the denim lovers around the world. It's really unbelievable that that this could happen.
Yeah, it's a testament to like having passion behind something really helps. Like it's, it's like there are like obviously like you're not gonna get like the mass market like appeal with just a passion. You need a lot of these things that you think you need to have a successful brand, but I think even without any of that, traditional like the material for success, like the passion does get you to a certain point. Yeah, and I think that's just like what Brandon had was the passion, like, and belief in that he's making the thing that some people want.
But I'm even thinking back to when we started. We did a little trade show called Capsule, and we're talking like maybe 40 brands in this little. We did the event at an old synagogue in New York, and beautiful place. Angel Orange Sands. I think they do like fashion shows and things like that there. It's a really neat venue. But it was all just these little brands, and some of the brands are still around today. Most of the brands aren't. And just through the years, just watching the growth of that trade show, seeing brands come and go, and just like, we're still here. I remember even when I was back, working at Holt Renfrew at the department store, I was there for around 7 years, and you'd see brands come and go all the time. Like brands that are we're the Canadian luxury department store, the biggest store, the best store in all of Canada. And if we brought your brand in, it meant it was a good brand, right? And, especially if you had like an all doors launch, like, I don't know, there was like 10 locations across the country. That's a lot of stores. There's a lot of doors. And if we carried your product in here, it meant there was something special about this. And then, you'd have it for 1 season, 2 seasons, and it's like, oh, the brand's gone. And it's like, well, it sold well. Everything sold well. And like, as a salesperson on the floor, you're like, man, what's going on with these buyers? Why aren't they bringing it back? Like, we were selling it so well. Like, and of course, as a salesperson, like, I want to sell the things that sell well because I make money on this. And no, just the brand's defunct. It's gone. It's like, how? And you think to yourself, like, how could a company that had all these great products, sold to the best stores, if they were selling to us,
millions of dollars in sales can go
just gone like that. And I would recognize that most brands had a very short shelf life. Like you have your standards, you have your big company,
super established.
Yeah, established brands, they ain't going anywhere. And then you have everything else that's just fighting for survival. And I don't think we're fighting. Like we're in the game, right? But like we're far from struggling. We're not the biggest company in the world by any means, but I think we're at a very comfortable position. Yeah. We're established. People know us. We've got a great community, great customers, great retailer, spread.
It's just like I'm sure this is a lesson in a lot of other industry too, but like, seeing Capsule, like that's when that was my first introduction to people who are just like one person brand can be like available to be sold in, other parts of the world and stuff. Like they're like it's just one person doing everything, but yet like you see them in like stores, and it's like, wow, this is incredible. Like I had no like real understanding of how world works. And especially like, with apparel industry, it's a little bit like, because bigger ones are so big that you could like, I didn't really understand it, but like Capsule really had the wide like variety of brands, and it just like met these people like, like you guys obviously, but like a lot of brands that are just like, go from like just one person to like, actual business, and also, like a bigger guys that just like trying to like there was also a thing where like bigger brands trying to be like
cool.
Small brands, like indie brands. That was also funny too.
That was a big trend for a while, because like Capsule was the indie show. It was all the independent brands, and then slowly you would get like a division of a big brand creep into that show, and you're like it was fine, because like, obviously between us on the in the like we would make friends with a lot of people, but it was odd to see like the big brand be like, oh yeah, here's our heritage label, and it's here's our independent label.
It's like it's such a small brand, like it's like it's not the same, but I like that's great for like actual indie brands that are like, those guys want the piece of our pie,
right?
Which is
and I still feel like, anyways, nowadays there's a big shift from like, it was like the indie brand and the trade show for like the indie brands, to now it's a lot of Instagram brands. Like that's, but I don't know, that's a whole other topic. But
I just want to comment to this comment that Chris
which one?
Griffin wrote back a few minutes ago. I'm working on a Wikipedia page. My first submission was rejected because most of my sources were with the company. I'm working on collecting better outside sources. I was also flagged as bias. That's funny, because like everything that you learn from us usually are from us.
Yeah, but it's also, how you go around that? You have to write an article about us, and then you source the article that you wrote.
But then I think you have to be another person to source that article.
It's a little nonsense.
You have your like writer friends write about us.
But that's actually how like the news business and all this crap works. Yeah. Look, obviously you have to take anything that I say with some amount of grain of salt. Like, you're getting it from me. I work for a company. Like, you have to presume.
We're not going to say anything that's damaging.
Yeah, I'm not going to write. I'm not going to air our dirty laundry. Not that there is much, but you have to take that with a grain of salt.
We do sometimes talk about that, but like obviously you can't trust that it is.
Yeah. This. I'm being as genuine as I think I can possibly be. Mm-hmm. I don't hold anything back, but Anyways. I appreciate that, Chris. You're going to be our company archivist one day.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
But you have to remain third party then. Though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Or else they won't let you write Wikipedia articles. Okay. Amiv writes, "Hey chat and Naked and Famous, just wondering if you guys seen a show on HBO called I got to read this. Just wondering if you guys seen a show on HBO from like 14 years ago, How to Make It in America. Cool show about a small denim label. Not only have I seen it, I'm a big fan of it. I'm very upset that
somebody pointed out that you already talked. Yeah. You have talked about it sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. It only ran for 2 seasons, and it was just getting hype after the second season, and they canceled it. The dumbest thing. That show had legs. That was a good show. HBO, shame on you for canceling that show. And it was very, very accurate as to what it was like in that era. Because that era, when that show went on, was the era when Naked and Famous Denim was getting started. It really felt like watching me and Brandon. In fact, in the very first episode, and this is how close that show was to like our real life experiences, one of the main characters, in one of the opening scenes, he's working at a Barney's in the denim department, and right behind him it says Naked and Famous Denim. Right? He's in the Barney's folding. I don't know if it was specifically folding our jeans, but folding jeans, working in the denim department. I worked at the luxury department store downtown Toronto, folding jeans, selling Naked and Famous at the time. Like, it was like, I'm right here. That I saw myself. And, like, there's a part where, like, hey, you're not wearing the Barney's pin. Like, where I worked, we had to wear our pins. And, like, if you weren't wearing your pin, your manager would be like, where's your pin? And I'm like, oh, you don't have your pin? Okay, go buy a new pin. $5. You got to buy a new pin. And
that's cool.
Right. So,
but, yeah, like, I'm sure whoever wrote that show had similar experience to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
that's very cool.
The amount of, we were outsiders going into this world of, like, fashion, and then you'd meet all these artists, and you're going to these parties, and you're meeting cool kids, and like we didn't know anybody, and like we're trying to make friends with people, and then I remember there was this one part of the show where, the two guys, I forget Cam and I forget anyway, I don't remember the names of the characters, but they were kind of jealous that this other brand like got into Barney's, and it kind of felt like that was just like the cool brand, and the amount of the cool brand just sometimes, like, maybe as an outside observer, like, you don't really see what's going on. Like, what is with that, and how come they're getting all this hype, and it seems like it's for. Sometimes it just seems like it's for nothing. Like, as an observer of fashion, sometimes you're like, why is this a thing? It's nothing. It's a logo. And why is that logo from this group of sometimes scumbags. I call them scumbags because they give off scumbag energy. Why is that scumbag brand more desirable than the other scumbag brand? Because those scumbags over there seem to be doing something on a similar wavelength, and nobody cares about that one. And why is it this one? And a lot of it is who you know and how you know them and whatever. And man, you can make a lot of connections. This
much difference can result in this much difference.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess it's similar in other worlds too, but I think in the fashion industry it is very, very common to have just been lucky, and then you're a big guy now.
Yeah.
We should maybe get moving to some of the topics we do. Yeah. We are running.
Okay. Let's. I'm going to answer one more question here. Seymour Butts, how does Naked and Famous continue to be creative and bringing new ideas? Most other denim brands just stick to what has always worked. I think that our company ethos has always been, push, 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 push. And, some people look at that. Look, I'm not trying to give other people advice on how to, do what works well for you. What has always worked well for us has, continued to push innovation, and we are genuinely denim nerds. Mm-hmm. We are so obsessed with fabric that is our we're just always hunting and trying to develop and create something that excites us always. And it's a hard road, because developing fabrics all the time is crazy town. Mm-hmm. People don't do this. Mm-hmm. Only we do this. Other people are like, what do you guys have in stock right now?
Yeah.
Great. We're going to use that one.
The fabric manufacturer do this.
Yeah.
But at the brand level, nobody does this. But another thing is that there's just so it's like, this is a game that we invented, kind of that we have to, we made this rule that we're a denim brand. Sometimes we make other things other than denim, but at core it's denim, game of denim, and we keep it raw denim. We don't we
don't deviate from that.
Yeah.
We don't try to change our script later on.
Which is such a small like thing in terms of like what you see in the market. Like it's such a small like area product, like basically one tiny niche of a product. Within that, we're doing as much as we can. And I think this is just such a fun challenge for us. And we're just enjoying that, going to like as far of, you know, area that we haven't been within this small, tiny patch of, you know, land.
Right. You know, and like, you know, we've preached raw denim, raw denim, raw denim, raw denim. And even within raw denim, we find a way. Like, you know, if, you know, stonewash or bleached denims are popular, or light colors are popular, we'll find a way to do it as raw denim, right? I'm not going to tell you for 10 years, raw denim, raw denim, raw denim, raw denim, raw denim, and be like, hey guys, guess what we have now? Pre-washed, bleached jeans, and, oh, made in Canada, made in Canada, made in Canada. And then all of a sudden, oh, yeah, we're making our stuff overseas somewhere else. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know, maybe we're militant in this respect, that, you know, there's some core values that we have, and it's, you know, made in Canada or made in Japan. Made in Japan is a separate line. Mm-hmm. That's Naked and Famous Denim MIJ. That's a different thing. But, you know, our main line, Naked and Famous, made in Canada, Japanese fabrics. We're always going to push innovation. We're always going to push, you know, if we can make it into denim, we're going to make it into denim. Nobody ever asked us to do half of not just half, more than half, almost everything that we've ever done. Nobody ever asked for it. And Risa said it perfectly, that we invented the game. We invented this game where this is what we do. Mm-hmm. And
we're having fun in it. Like, within the rule that, like, I think a game is fun because there's a rule. And I think because otherwise, like, there's just like infinite amount, which is fine too. But like for us, like, it's such a fun little game, and I think we're doing very well within, like, because if you ask anybody 15 years ago that, like, can we continue making, like, you know, 25, 30 new fabrics every single year for within this raw denim, you know, like fabric from Japan, kind of all the like restriction we put ourselves in.
Yeah.
For 15 years, like, nobody would have said yes. We wouldn't have said yes to that, but it's happening.
Yeah, it's not only is it happening, like, it's like anytime, like, you know, for 2023, you know, the roadmap is like everything's planned, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But like we're on to 2024, like we're still like, we still have to cut ideas. Mm-hmm. You know, we have so many ideas that we put out. We have, you know, basically, you know, our collection planning, and it's like, well, you know what? We have so many ideas, so many good. We'll use that one. We'll just put her on the back burner. Like, we have a list of all the other ideas that, like, are like, do it for this season, do it for that season. Like, oh, that won't be the right season for that. Oh, we'll push it over to here. And like, we have no shortage of ideas. And even like for the one brief moment in my brain that I think, I'm like, man, how are we gonna come up with something else? And then just the ideas flow out, and you're like, all right, there's 2 years worth of collections right there.
Like, sometimes it works like that, at times not. But I think we got a producer, unofficial producers, making us move on to the next topic.
Yes. All right. Okay, Chris Griffin. To quote another famous Canadian, Bret the Hitman Hart. The best there ever is, the best there ever was, and the best there ever will be. I agree. Right. We're just like Bret Hart. The Hitman. Okay. Seymour Butts. I love the name, by the way. Yeah. That's what makes you guys great. Thank you very much. And BD, Taps, producer, earpiece. Lookbook. Okay. Or do we have to roll into previews? Okay.
Let's roll into a couple previews.
Yeah, let's do a couple previews because we have some.
Yeah. I also want to talk about this, like, rule of raw.
Okay.
So next week, we have a release of new Frontier Selvedge denim coming. And this is a rare one that we rinse wash.
Yes, but it's an unsanforized denim rinse washed.
Yeah.
So
the reason why we rinse wash it is because it's such a beautiful unsanforized denim, and that we don't want to sanforize it. We wanted to keep this texture and the hairiness and just, the beautifulness. But we also wanted to kind of, the unsanforized denim, I think it's a big hurdle for a lot of people to buy sizes that are too big to begin with and hope that it will shrink to the right size.
Yeah.
It is very inconvenient. So we wanted to take that wash out, because everybody who buys, or almost everybody who buys unsanforized denim will do the rinse wash first to fit the jeans. So we just kind of took over that first step for you. But it is still raw. Like in our book, like rinse washing is just a way to get the starch out, not to fade them or distress them in any way. So like in spirit, this is still raw denim.
Yes. Yeah. So this beautiful vintage bluish color. Weight-wise, I think they're 8.75 ounce.
Yeah,
so
almost 9.
Yeah. And just a beautiful vintage blue tone. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that for this, like our sample here, it has an all-white Selvedge ID. Fun story. There is going to be a red line Selvedge ID version of this as well. So there's actually 2 production lots. So basically, when we made the fabric, we made the first production lot. We needed to have some more fabric, but we didn't want to mix up the colors because this is such a unique color, and dye lots can vary from one batch to the other. And when you're cutting fabric, you don't want to take fabrics from different dye lots, put them on the cutting table, cut them, and then sometimes what we want to avoid is having one dye lot and another dye lot on the same table, and having different tones of fabric on the same jean, so it doesn't look the same.
Or like the pocket looks slightly off. If you're using the same lot, like that cannot vary too much to be noticeable in the same.
So, in order to make sure that the dye lots were separated, we used a red line Selvedge ID to indicate that this is this production lot, and then the all white was the original production lot, so that they didn't get mixed in. Which, we wanted to create this vintage style denim, and in doing that, we actually had to use a vintage style, organization technique.
Yeah.
So
it works.
Yeah, it definitely works. So beautiful weight, drapey. It's got a great feel to it. The fabric itself is mega hairy, and so you'll I think
Yeah, we'll have a great macro shot. So
yeah, there's a video coming on Monday. Where you'll see some close-ups of this fabric. But definitely something to look out for if you're looking for a summer weight option. The new Frontier Selvedge, a rinse-washed, unsanforized denim that's going to be nice and cool and breezy and airy and comfortable for the summertime weather. Color-wise, I would say that it's not all year, but it's a little bit more summery.
Yeah, it's a mid blue. Yeah. It's not like the dark, almost black indigo.
Yeah,
so.
Once it's faded, like to the lightest of blue shades, then I think it becomes a little bit more all year. But I think just the brightness of the blue is a little bit more summery. So I can see it's hairy, loving it.
Yeah, it's very hairy.
Yeah, there you go. So that is the new Frontier Selvedge. We came out with the all natural organic cotton today. So this is today's release. Reese has got it on right now. Beautiful ecru denim, 14 ounce. So it's not neppy, but you can see these.
It is very seedy.
Yeah, very seedy. So this is the actual cotton seed that's left in the yarn. So when they're doing the cotton, basically when they're cleaning the cotton, they just don't clean it as much. A lot of this stuff gets combed out during the combing process of the cotton, and so this was left in on purpose to create this natural tone, which I think, without it I think it adds a lot of character to a
100%.
fabric like this. And as in a crew denim and not like a stark white, it makes it much more approachable for year-round wear. It doesn't like an all-white jean really feels like a spring-summer item. Also a lot harder to wear. We've made it like an ivory power stretch back in the day. I remember wearing those for a while. This was a lot easier to wear all year because of that earthy kind of warm tone. Pairing it with like fall items, very, very easy to do. So I'm a big fan of that. Available in men's and ladies fits. It was a shame that we couldn't make that in the True Guy, but next year we'll have another accrue option for you, which we will have in the True Guy. But this did come in a chore coat and a denim jacket. So a lot of options for that one as well. Okay. Right, W5. That's what I was wondering about the seed fragments. Yeah, the actual cotton seed.
Yeah, and like just as a like I've been wearing this pair for like just a few days. One thing to notice is that like when you're touching the fabric, like sometimes I can feel the seed
Little bumps.
Yeah.
In the fabric.
Yeah.
All right. I want to do snack time because we actually got something.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun. We went out, last week, I think I left the house no more than 2 times. And I didn't go much further than across the street to get some groceries. And yesterday's was one of the reasons to leave the house was so we can get snack time. But we got to get a nice cup.
Okay.
This is
Okay,
we gotta
yeah. Okay.
Oh, all right. We're doing the little dance here. So we found this black and soda Gaseta. It's a terrible name.
But it's a black coffee soda.
Yeah, Gaseta. I don't know how that.
Is Tully's a foreign?
I think this is only in Japan.
Yeah, it's a chain
Coffee
of
chain.
like coffee shops.
Yeah.
It's like Starbucks.
Yeah.
Maybe equivalent, but yeah.
So I don't know if you've ever had a coffee tonic before, which are quite nice actually.
We are really into coffee tonics, which is espresso tonics
Yeah.
is how we discovered this drink, like espresso with tonic water.
Yeah.
And we don't have an espresso machine, so at home, like we'll make a stronger coffee
and tonic,
but
mixed
it's
together.
a very
Nice
refreshing.
summer drink.
But this one, it's not. It doesn't say tonic, so I think it's just a carbonated coffee. I don't know. We'll find out.
We're gonna find out. But apparently, it's supposed to pour, kind of like a nitro coffee, or like.
Does it?
I don't know, or like how.
How do you know that?
Because it was in the little video at the store.
Is it?
So you gotta hold the cup up when I pour this so people can see. Because I think the pour is the important part. It's supposed to have like a foaminess to it. So we'll give that a try.
Nope.
Nope. Not at all. Oh.
It's like a Coke level.
All right.
That's a big
In
cup.
the ad, it was foamy like all the way. Mm-hmm. Was I supposed to shake this or something?
No,
There's no instructions there?
doesn't say.
All
It
right.
says to be careful because it's carbonated.
Be careful. It's from Calabria. Gaseta. I guess it tells you what it says.
Oh, it's an Italian word.
Okay.
Gassada is like Italian word for soda or carbonated drink or something.
Okay.
It's from it's like I guess like in Italy they do espresso soda. So this is their version of coffee soda.
Okay. So anyways, maybe I'll pour myself a cup here.
Yeah, you kind of gave.
Yeah, I give you. We can switch. Here,
No, that's
you
okay.
have the human amount.
No, it's
All
okay.
right. So cheers.
Cheers.
To all of you.
This is the 99th
Episode.
live stream.
99th live stream.
Yeah.
Cheers to that. Yeah, it's not bad. If you like coffee tonic,
It's similar but less, like, because tonic has
the
sugar
and that
the
tartness.
Yeah, there's a little bit of.
There's like a nuttiness from the coffee, and the soda is just bubbly and clear.
I feel like
It's
there's
very-
a little bit of the acidity of the.
Over ice on a hot summer day. This is just a
It's very
great
refreshing.
drink. So I would encourage you to try this yourself at home. Now, you might not be able to get the gasita, but you can definitely do this if you have like one of those home soda machines, and just mix it with coffee. We do it with coffee and tonic all the time. It's a great combination.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Snowy the cat. He's right here. Take a seat, son. There you go. Snowy's here for the 99.
Welcome to
For episode 99
live
here
stream.
as well. So, all right. Grilled Sushi writes, black coffee soda, yeah, only in Japan. No way this exists in my country.
Yeah. But the beauty of
unless
this
you're
is
from
that
Italy.
you can make it yourself.
Yeah, you can make it yourself. It is an easy thing to do. Chris Griffin.
I feel like this is something Starbucks would do also.
Oh, no question about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll have it this summer.
Yeah.
There's something about Japanese products where it's like they tend to be quite trendy. So if something works, like if
Yeah.
they see something on, you'll just see it everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that we'll see more products like this on the shelf soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Chris Griffin, I just looked up Gasodori coffee soda and found the word Gasodori means street with lined up trees. It refers to a famous street in Matsumoto City, Nagano Prefecture, Japan.
Oh, Gashodori. maybe.
Gashodori. Okay. Yeah, Dori means street.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess there's a famous street.
There you go
There you
with
go.
your research
There you go,
ability.
Chris. Thank you so much for your continued
Yeah, we have all kinds of
fun
you
facts.
know, yeah, we have the research guy, we have the BD, the
Yeah,
producer,
we got BD.
we have the timestamp hero.
Yeah.
Like
We've got a lot of
Yeah.
heroes in the chat, and of course all of you guys for just being here, being subscribers. If you haven't subscribed
and
yet,
asking fun questions.
yeah. Sorry about the earlier technical difficulties. At least it seems like we've got that under control for the rest of the stream. We are going to be taking a 1-week break. So episode 100 will not be next Friday. It will be the Friday afterwards on the 26th. We'll be here with some kind of celebratory thing.
All right,
We'll figure it out.
Cracker.
Yeah, but you want to tune in because we'll do some giveaways and we'll make sure that we celebrate with you guys. So if you haven't already, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We've had a lot of subscribers today on stream. It's the best time to do it. Like this video if you haven't done so already. We'll be back again next week. Not next week, the week after.
Yeah.
But you will see us next week because we're going to post a video on Monday on the new Frontier Selvedge. So hopefully you'll enjoy that video. And if you want to follow us on our socials, you might see what we're up to, where we're going. And have a great weekend, everybody. Have a great weekend. Do something nice for yourselves. Do something nice for a loved one.
Enjoy your hopefully nicer weather.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody's having a start of the summer.
And try a coffee soda if you can.
Yeah.
If you can, try it. It might not be your taste, but I like it. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
All right. Have a great one, everyone.
Thanks for hanging out.